first, let's look at the definition and compare the difference. All right. So inner join, we know it's a default type of join. Yeah. So if we do not say anything, okay? Yeah. So even we do not write this keyword join. Yeah. It means if we, just put two tables together, then specify join conditions, other conditions. Yeah. Inner join. Okay. All right.
So it's if you don't include the word inner, you're saying, or include the word join?
Yeah. Usually no inner. So usually you use join. That means inner join. Okay. But that join, remember so here in the from clause. Yeah. Since you asked me this question, let me write a little more things, because many students, actually many people, when they write table join, so here for table join operation, we know we have several ways to write, but there is one way. So I think when I do grading, I see many students like to use this way. Okay, in the from clause, then specify the whole join operation in the from clause. Okay, so that is from, because before from we know something before from. Okay, select something before from. Then in the from clause, then many people like to do this way. Actually, there is a good reason for it. So here, let me write table one, then the keyword join. Okay, the keyword join. Table 2. This join here, inner join. Okay. On specify join condition. On, then join condition. Okay. So here, join condition. So this way is very popular. We know there is another way. We do not use the keyword join. So our usual way. So you have something, then from table 1, comma table 2. Okay. When you do this, it means inner join. You do not even see, but we specify join condition in the where clause. Okay, then this is in our join condition. So that's another way. But this way, many people like this way. Okay, there is a good reason for it. The main reason this way emphasize the readability, because this from, you see all the information in this from clause, right? And this way, join condition and other conditions you mix, outside the from clause. Although it's okay. So if you get used to it, no problem. But especially when the query is relatively complicated, so many people like to use this way. Okay? So that, for readability, to emphasize the structure of your queries, so that's reasonable. Okay? So that's my comments. So these two ways, you just pick the one you feel more comfortable. All right. So here, condition. Now that's the main property. When we use inner join, the main property is like a tuple is included when we list the query result. How do we select those rows that satisfy the conditions. Yeah. Use the rule here. A tuple is included in the result only if a matching tuple exists. Yeah. When you talk about matching tuple, yeah, remember when you join left-hand side, right-hand side, right? Yeah. So here. So how do you understand this matching tuple? Yeah. You have left-hand side, yeah. Left-hand side, okay, equal right-hand side, right? Yeah. When you specify join condition, yeah. So which side you call the matching tuple? Right-hand side matching tuple, okay? So that matching tuple you refer to the right-hand side, yeah. Left-hand side, you know, so that's your main side, right? Yeah, that's your main side, okay? You start from left-hand side, okay? Yeah. Then you look at the right-hand side and see if any tuple exists matching the given condition, given join condition, okay? Yeah. So that's the matching tuple. All right. So for the inner join, your logic, natural logic, only when a matching tuple exists in the other relation, yeah, right-hand side table, okay? Table 1 join table 2. Other relation, that is this table 2, okay? The other relation, not table 1, okay? Table 1, the current relation. Table 2, the other relation. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. So only the matching tuple exists. Then you select it. So that's the main property. Yeah. For the outer join, we modify this property. Okay? Yeah. So the outer join, yeah, we change this rule slightly. Yeah. So what's the rule for the outer join? Right. Yeah. Matching here, yeah, that means not null. Okay, yeah. So if the right-hand side has the null value, then we treat as no matching. Okay, no matching. Yeah, yeah. So must be some value, valid value, not null. Okay, all right. Then outer join. Outer join first thing, because it's not default. You need to specify it explicitly, okay? Explicit, but you do not use the outer name. So inner join, you do not use inner. Outer join, you do not use outer, okay? Yeah, you use the join keyword, but if join, it's not enough. Yeah. Because when you specify outer join, there are several types. Yeah. Actually, there are 3 types, but this class we only look at the 2 types. Left outer join and the right outer. Left and the right. The third type of both outer join. Yeah. But we just do left and the right outer join. Yeah. You need to specify explicitly. That means you need to specify left join or right join. Okay? Left join or right join. Yeah. The keywords, you need to write them out explicitly. Yeah. Then the condition, the rule, okay, require that all the tuples in one table. What's that one table? Yeah. Left join, then this one table refers to left table. Right join, then this table refers to right table. Yeah. Okay? One of the 2 tables. Yeah. So require that all the tuples in one of the 2 tables included, even if no matching tuple in the other table exists. Okay? Matching, definitely you select them. Okay? Matching. So all the types you need to include the matching tuples. But other than that, then left outer join, then all the tuples in the left table must be included, even if they do not have the their corresponding matching tuples in the right table. Okay? Yeah. Similarly, for the right outer join, all the tuples in the right tables must be included, even if some of the tuples, they do not have the matching tuples in the left table. Okay? Yeah. So that's the difference. Yeah. So here. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And it exists, right, in the, right. So the null values, yeah, null values means no matching tuple. Okay? Yeah, if a tuple, you know, in the other table, in the join condition, it takes the null value, no matching. So, well, but we still include it. Yeah, the null value is still included. Yeah. All right, left outer join, right outer join. Left outer join, all tuples in the left table included. Okay. Right outer join, all the tuples in the right table included. Then the join condition, yeah, so then you look at the join condition. If the join condition is satisfied, then you keep everything. If the join condition not satisfied, null value. Okay? Null value. Yeah. No such things. But you still keep it. Yeah. You still keep the, that main table, all the tuples in that main table. Yeah. Why? The reason is very simple. The reason is because based on the business requirements, our main focus is that main table, right? So we want to see all the tuples in our main table. We don't want to remove any tuples in the main table. So that's the reason in that situation we want to use the outer join, not inner join. Inner join because some of the tuples could be removed. Yeah. So that's the main difference. All right? Yeah. All right. Next, let me give you a simple example. So you can see under what situation you should use the outer join. Yeah. All right. So look at this example. Yeah. Question. For each employee, retrieve the employee's last name, first name. Here I repeat. Okay. Yeah. First name. All right. Of his or her immediate supervisor, immediate supervisor, yeah, because supervisor can have another supervisor, okay? Immediate supervisor, where an employee tuple whose value for super underscore SSM is null is also included, yeah? Because immediate supervisor, if one employee does not have any supervisor, so then this field, super underscore SSN, takes the null value, but even that, you need to include. You need to include. Yeah, because that information is useful, right? Yeah, that information, in the result table, we want to see it. We want to see those employees who do not have any supervisor. Yeah. Okay? In this case, we should use the outer join. Yeah. So left outer join. Yeah. Left table, that's our main table, employee table, main table. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right table. Yeah. All right. So right table, another employee, another copy, right? So here, the from clause. Yeah, here. Yeah. So here for the outer join, here you can see. Yeah. For the outer join, then we like to specify the whole join operation inside that from clause. Inside that from clause. Okay? Yeah, so that's the reason many people, when they do the inner join, they still want to use this structure. Yeah, because consistent. So they use the same way on all different types of join operations. Yeah, so, all right, so you see. All right, employees' first name, last name. Then, the immediate supervisor's first name, last name. Yeah. All right. Oh, last name. Okay. Oh, yeah. Not first name. Yeah. I misunderstood. Because one is employee's last name. Another is the supervisor's last name. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So not the first name, last name. Only last name. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So then 2 copies. Yeah. Outer join, left outer join. Yeah. Because all the employees, we want to display all the employee names. Yeah. All right. But for some of the employees, they're, here you write last name of the supervisor, but there is no supervisor. In that case, no value. No value, nothing. Yeah. All right, yeah. The from clause, left table employee as E, then write the keywords left outer, left join. So why you need to keep outer, right? Why you need to keep outer? Yeah, spam. Yeah, let me mute it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So why need that outer, right? Yeah, redundant. Yeah. Because left join, it means outer join, right? Yeah. Redundant. Yeah. Redundant. Yeah.
You don't need the outer keyword.
Yeah, we don't need. Yeah, we don't need the outer, and we don't need a inner keyword, right? Redundant. Okay. Join means inner join. Okay. Left join, right join, outer join. Okay. Yeah. So we don't need that redundant. So left join employee as S on that your join condition. Okay. So John, yeah.
Just to clarify, that just means that if you're putting left or right, that implies it's an outer join, so you don't have to specify outer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But, yeah. If you specify, it may not be wrong. Yeah, but just redundant. Redundant. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here. Yeah. So then, because at this point, are already very close to the final exam. Yeah. Next week, final exam. Yeah. So we don't have chance to, practice a little bit on this outer join. Yeah. But the good thing is, it's not very hard. Okay, pretty straightforward. Not very hard. Yeah. Yeah. So in the final, I plan to give 1+1 question. The outer join. 1+1. Right, two, but I write 1+1 from Northwind database, 1 from company database. Yeah. So my next topic, I will give you the question types. So I plan to give you, remember, 15 questions, right? Yeah, 15 total questions. And the concept questions, this weekend I will post as a quiz, our last quiz number 6. That will also be used as the part A of final 10 concept questions. Okay, online, 1 week. Okay, 1 week online. Yeah. So that's also part A of our final exam. Then, in our official final exam, that 2-hour window time you only need to focus on 15 query questions. Now, part B, 15 query questions here in this classroom. Yeah. So you have plenty of time, okay? 2 hours, 15 questions. In D.2, I will give you those 15 question types. Yeah. Some easy questions, some, different types. I try to cover, the main question types. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's the. Then let me summarize a little bit. So we try to understand a little more. So summarize a little bit. When to use SQL outer join, under what situation? Yeah, so here you can see several typical situations you need to consider using the outer join. Yeah. All right. The first one, incomplete data. Yeah. So that's very common in business. When people collect the data, sometimes some special fields, the data in those fields may not be available temporarily, right? Yeah. Yeah. So in that situation, but you still want to know that information, right? Even incomplete data, you still want to know. Yeah. That one is the incomplete data. You want to keep it. Yeah. So that's the situation you should use the outer join. Okay. Yeah. When you need to include all records from one table, even if there is no match in the other table, for example, when retrieving all employees and their assigned departments, including employees without departments. Yeah? So some new employees, so probably they have not been assigned to any department. Yeah, if that's a special situation, yeah. But you still want to know that information, right? That information is still very useful. Yeah. So that outer join, okay? Yeah. Second case, data integrity issues. Yeah. So let's look at, so when working with data sets that might have missing or incomplete relations. Missing, incomplete. Outer joins can help ensure you don't miss out on important records. Yeah. 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 All right. Yeah. Yeah. Third one, reporting and analysis. When generating reports that need to show all records regardless of matching conditions, such as when summarizing employee data alongside department data. Yeah. Yeah. Reporting, yeah, another case. Yeah. Because you want to see complete table information. Okay? So in your main table, you want to see complete information. You don't want to miss anything in your main table. Yeah. All right. Data merging. Yeah. When merging data sets from different sources where some records might not have corresponding matches. Yeah. Another case. Yeah. 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 Probably there are more cases, right? Yeah. But here just some of the typical cases. Yeah. So you need to use the outer join operation. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So then the next slide. Yeah. Next. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I already post this notes file. So you do not need to, copy everything. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So then I move to the next slide. Yeah. Conclusion. Yeah. SQL outer joins are used for combining data from multiple tables while including unmatched rows. So that one sentence, explain the main reason. So we use the outer join. Okay. Yeah. Whether you need to retrieve all records from one table or both tables. So there is a both table cases. Yeah. Yeah, but here we do not look at that case. Both table means all the rows from both tables we want to include. So actually you can understand in this way. Yeah, I saw some diagram. So here, let me draw the diagram. Yeah, visually, let us use the visual understanding of the, so here we should have 4 different join types, 4. Okay, the first one, yeah, table A, table B. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Table A, table B. Yeah. In this part, when we join table A, both sides must be matched, you know, matching from both sides. This is the inner join. Yeah, all right, type 1. Second one, left join, left outer join. A and B. Left table, all the tuples must be included. Yeah. Matching, yeah, so this one, okay? All the tuples in left table must be included. Matching part, yeah, this is the matching part, right? Yeah. And non-matching part, okay? Yeah, you know, non-matching part, okay? So this is the left join. Okay. Second type. Then similarly, third type, B table must be selected. All the tuples in B table must be selected. So we call the right join. Right join. Okay, yeah, that's simple. Then both, okay, so people call it full join, full outer join, full. Okay. Containing, or you do the union of left outer join, right outer join, put them together. Then that's the full join. Yeah. A, B, you know, the union part, okay? Yeah. So that's the, you know, while including, so here, or both unmatched rows, right? Yeah. Because, you know, unmatched rows in the left table, unmatched rows in the right table, you need to include both parts, okay? You know, so full join. Okay? So these 4 different types, okay? Yeah. On the table join, yeah. All right.
With the full join, do we use that as a keyword, or is that the same thing as just doing from
yes.
table 1, comma, table 2?
We need to use the keyword. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Because it's not default. It's not default, so we need to use, you know, all the keywords. Yeah. Only default, you can skip the keyword. Yeah. Default case. Yeah.
What's the difference between full join and then just having select times from the 2 tables? What's the difference between
Is that inner join you select?
that? I mean, just select the star from
Yeah.
table 1, table 2.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that
Yeah.
and then full join?
That is the inner join. Select from table 1, table 2. No keyword, right?
Yeah,
No keyword means inner join.
Yeah, no keyword and no where condition.
Yeah. Oh,
Like if we're just doing select asterisk from 2 tables,
Uh-huh.
no where condition.
yeah. Nowhere condition also inner join.
Okay.
Tensor is that a Cartesian product, right? No, if nowhere condition, that means Cartesian product. Okay.
Does Cartesian product include more entries than a full join?
Yes. Cartesian product, yeah. All these 4 types, they are actually the subset of Cartesian product. Subset of Cartesian product. Cartesian product, everything. All the possibilities covered in the Cartesian product. Okay? Yeah. So if we do not specify joint condition, that's the Cartesian product. Okay? The biggest umbrella covering everything. Cartesian product. Then inner join part of it, left outer join part of it, right outer join part of it, full join part of it. Okay? Cartesian product. Can you understand why? Yeah. Here. Let me describe a little bit. Yeah, can you do? Yeah? Right? All right. So A table. Here. I use some numbers to give you an idea. A tables. M rows. B tables. N rows. Okay, all right. Then, Cartesian product. Let's look at Cartesian product. A cross B, how many rows? How many?
Times m rows.
Correct. M times N rows. Yeah. All right, so that's the biggest possible numbers you can get from table join. Then, inner join, how many row numbers? Okay. Yeah. Some numbers less than. Yeah. So here, if I use K, the K number less than or equal to the minimum of M and M, right? Because that overlapping part inside A table and also inside B table, so the number of rows must be less than or equal to the number of rows in A or number of rows in B. Yeah. So less than, yeah. All right. Okay. And this one, number of rows, M, right? Because all the M rows must be included. Yeah. Number of rows, N rows. Okay? All right. How about this case?
For the full join, would it be n times n rows if the union was, or sorry, if there's no intersection? So
Right.
like if they were distinct and,
Minus K.
oh, okay.
K is this K. Okay? The intersection part. M plus M minus K. Okay? Yeah. The overlapping part, why you minus? Because M plus N, that overlapping part, you count it twice, right? You need to remove one copy. So minus K. K rows. Yeah. And you can see this number is much smaller than that Cartesian product, M times N, right? Yeah. Much smaller. So you can see, yeah, Cartesian product, that's the maximum possibility case. Yeah. Yeah. So from these diagrams, you can understand the relationship. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then, yeah. So here, look at it. Yeah. So the types, left outer join type, right? Outer join. Then we know the outer can be skip it. Okay. Right outer join, outer can be skip it, right? Yeah. Full outer join, yeah. Outer can be skip it, right? Yeah. Because redundant. Yeah. You provide enough information. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. These joins allow you to handle incomplete data and generate comprehensive reports that include all necessary records. Mastering outer joins is an essential skill for any SQL practitioners. Whether you are working on business intelligence, data analysis, or general database management. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's our last SQL topic. Yeah. So you need to, at least you need to have this concept, right? Yeah. All right, so we finish this topic. Yeah. Outer joint topic. Yeah. So here you have the understanding, and you saw one example. Yeah. But in the final, I want to give you 2 questions. So 1 + 1, 2 questions. Yeah. All right. Next, I want to talk about SQL question types in final exam. Yeah. 15 questions. So my plan. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let me write a little bit. Yeah. Simple queries, complex queries. Yeah. You know, I want to mix. Yeah. You know, some questions simple. Yeah. Some questions relatively hard. Yeah. All right. Yeah. The first part. Yeah. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. The first part, simple queries. Okay, simple queries. Yeah. 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 You know. Yeah. So everyone can answer easily simple queries. Okay. So I write 1 + 2 questions. Yeah. Here, 1 + 2, I write in this way. 1 from north wind. Okay. Yeah, the first number means from that north wind database. Okay. That database. The second from company database. Okay, all right. Yeah. Because total 15. Yeah. Total. Yeah. Yeah. 15. So 3 questions, simple. So everybody, yeah. So very easy. Yeah. Yeah. You can get these 3 questions. All right. Type 2. Table join. So here, type 2, table, inner join, okay? Inner join. So we practice table inner join, okay? All right. Table inner join, I want to give you 2 + 2 questions. Two from north wing, 2 from company. Yeah. But in those 2, okay, so each side 2 questions. Then I split. You know, 1 question, 1 Q question. That's the 2 table join, okay? 2 table. So join 2 tables. 2 table join. Yeah. Yeah. 2. But 1 question, 3 or 4 table join, okay? Yeah. Yeah. 3 or 4, okay? A little harder than the first one, yeah, but at most 4 tables, yeah. At least 3 tables, yeah. 3 or 4, okay, yeah. All right. And so this one you have 3 questions. The second type you have 4. Total questions. Okay? third type. The third type. Third type. Right? Table outer join. Two questions. Two questions, that is 1 plus 1. Yeah. So each database, one outer join question. Okay? One outer join question. 1 plus 1. Okay? All right. Type 4. That negation type. Remember? Yeah. So we have one type. Negation type. Yeah. Remember that, all containing that all word. Yeah. So you need to, represent something, all. Belong to, remember that we have one example, all the projects done by one employee should be controlled by Department 5. Remember that question? Yeah. So this one, yeah. So this one, two questions. Two questions and 1 plus 1. Okay. So each database, one question. 1 plus 1. Okay, yeah. Then, the last type, 5. Last type. With clause, remember? With clause. Relatively hard one, yeah. But you want to, split, represent, some temporary table, using with clause to define temporary queries. Yeah. So then in your main query, you need to use the result from the temporary queries. Yeah. So with clause type. Okay. With clause type. Yeah. So 4 questions in that 2 plus 2. 2 from the North Wing and the 2 from company database. Yeah. Then you can see total 15, right? Yeah. So 3 plus 4, 7. Then 2 plus 2 plus 4, 8. So 7 plus 8, total 15 questions. Okay. Total 15 questions. Okay. Yeah. So when you do preparation, you need to cover all these types. Yeah. All these types. You can find the examples easily from our homework assignments. Easily, yeah. So then, here I describe the types from the high level, so I do not mention the lower level details, like aggregate functions, those things. So I do not need to, explicitly describe those details. Yeah, because many of these questions, we need to use the aggregate functions. Yeah. Question? Error.
So with
With,
the with clause,
uh-huh.
is it similar to what we did for for
Yeah.
our work, or was it-
Yes, yes. So you practice similar.
Queries, is that literally just like find the managers?
Yes.
That's it?
Even no table join. I mean, even no table join, just a single table. One query, but certain conditions. Okay, probably the day between two numbers. No, yeah, straightforward. Yeah, because usually I like to give some simple questions. Make sure all the students, so you can get those questions easily. After that, the difficulty, gradually we increase the difficulties. Yeah. Yeah. Not all questions are hard questions. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why we need to combine, all different types of questions. Yeah. Yeah. So that's reasonable. Yeah. And, simple queries. Yeah. No table join even. Yeah. Because I have type 2, type 3, they both cover the table join case. Yeah. Yeah. Type 4, type 5, you may have table join, but our main focus is not at table join, right? Our main focus at other things. Yeah. At other things. Okay? All right. Yeah. So that's the, high level description of the questions. Yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. So next class I want to talk about, when I look at your assignment, so I want to select the common errors from your assignment, grading, yeah. And also if I find some important things I want to emphasize, I want to explain. All right, so that's this topic. Okay, yeah. All right, the next topic. I want to give you some information about our programming, the programming project. Yeah, yeah. Because if I do not give you this information, at some places not that easy to understand. Okay, so you may have questions. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's for our programming. All right. HTTP get and post method. Okay. Yeah. These two methods. Yeah. Because sometimes some places you use the get method. Some places you use post method. And you may ask, what's the difference? Right? Why in this place I need to use the get method? In that place I use the post method, right? Yeah. So here I want to give you the underlying theory. Yeah. So that's HTTP. Yeah. You see that HTTP all the time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the communication protocol between client and server. So here I want to give you the basic knowledge of that HTTP protocol. To do the communication. When you send the data between client and server, yeah, through the HTTP protocol. But what's that HTTP protocol, right? At least we need to know the main properties of the HTTP protocols. Yeah. All right, so here, let me give you some basic information. All right. The first question, how to send data between client and server? The communication, right? Yeah. Client, server, both sides, they need to understand the same language to do the communication, right? Yeah. Both sides need to speak the same language to understand each other. So that language, the rules here, the rules for communication specified in HTTP protocol. Okay? Yeah. All right. HTTP protocol for data communication. between client and server. All right. That next question, how, right? So we want to know a little more information. Yeah. How, one sentence. The request response model. Request response model. Yeah. That. So what's that? Request response. We need to separate. Okay. Yeah. HTTP request. So first thing. HTTP request. Request object. What's that? HTTP request. Okay. Yeah. So here we can understand as an object. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a structured data. HTTP request objects. It's a structured data. So, because the data you send between client and server, the data, communication data, so this request object, yeah. Text data, yeah. Typically text data, yeah. But sometimes you need to send binary data, right? Yeah. So the binary file upload, okay? Yeah. Yeah. But the binary data we do not treat as the main part of the data. Okay, the main part of the data is the text data. Okay, so it's not the main part of the data. The binary data we use the attachment. Put the binary data in the attachment part. So their treatment is different. Okay. The main part of the data must be text data. Yeah. Because the content of the main part of the data will be used in the communication. Yeah. Then the binary data we put in the attachment, then the communication does not rely on the content of the attachment. The binary data, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So that's the difference. That's the difference. Okay. The text part, binary part. Yeah. The text part, the content will be used. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then, so what's the structure? I need to describe the typical structure of this request body. Yeah. Because structure is important when you understand the HTTP request. How do you understand it? Oh, I do not have that much time. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. All right. The structure. Yeah. 3 components. First component. Request line. Only one line, okay? The first line, yeah, request line, it contains the information. Yeah. What kind of information? URL. So that's put in the first line, okay? Yeah, yeah. HTTP version, okay? HTTP, there is a version, method, some information, okay, some basic information. Yeah. So put in the first line, yeah. Code, some code, yeah, right? Like 404 code, right? Yeah, some code. Yeah. But simple, some basic information. Yeah. That's the first line, okay? Only the first line has that information. One line, okay? All right, request line. Then the header part, header part, many lines, okay? Each line for one property. Yeah. So, okay? Yeah. Many lines. Okay? Covering many pieces of information. Okay? Yeah. Like IP address. Okay? IP address, and many other things. Language, right? Different languages. English, language, other countries, various informations. Yeah. Header information, many lines. Okay? Yeah. Each line, one piece of information. Okay? All right. But after all those lines, there must be a blank line. Okay? At the end of the header part, then there must be a blank line. Blank line as the separator. Separate header part and the third component, the body part. The body part, okay? Body part, that's the main part. You put your data, okay? Yeah. Body. Okay. The data you want to send, okay? All right. Yeah. Data you want to send. Main part of the body part. So this blank line as a separator, so you know how to tell. So which part is the header part, which part is the body part. After you see this blank line, you know which part is body part, right? Because request line, that's easy, only one line, okay? Yeah. Starting from second line, then above the blank line, that's the header part. Yeah. So then remaining the body part, okay? All right. Then, but this URL, in your URL, you can encode some data in URL, right? So inside URL, you can put some data in URL. Here you can see, when you send the data, you have two different places you can send the data. Okay. First, inside URL, you can write some data, encode. You can represent, data. Then, body. Yeah. The difference you can see, the body part, you can send a large amount, right? Large amount data. But in URL, we know URL cannot be too long, right? Yeah. So the URL weighs data small amount. Okay? Small amount, URL. Relative, there is a limit because the top line. How long is your top line? There is a limit. Okay. Cannot be too long. Okay? If it's too long, truncate it. Okay? Yeah. If it's too long, so that line, top line, will be truncated. So you will lose the data. Yeah. So the URL, then the body part, no limit. Okay? Yeah, this body part, you can, no limit. Now, after you understand this structure, then this URL way, when you send the data through that URL way, you use the get method. Okay. When you use this body part, you use post method. Okay. Now you can see one big difference. Get data, you can only send relatively small amount of data. Okay, there is a limit. Okay, limit. Okay, yeah, you know, yeah, several K. Yeah, the current limit is several K. Okay, 4K, for example. Okay, 4K the limit. Yeah. And the post method, when you need to send a large amount of data, you use the post method. Because if the, you know, yeah, all right, yeah. So that's one difference. Yeah, I just have a few minutes. Let me say a little more about the difference between get method and the post method. All right, another difference, because when you use the get method, you use URL to send data, right? Then your data appears in the URL bar, right? You use mouse click, yeah, because right now, you know, people actually, the current web browsers, in URL, it is hidden, right? You know, many times the URL, the data part, you know, some part are hidden. You cannot see. But if you put a mouse cursor on it, then it's visible, okay? Your whole URL is visible, yeah. Some part is hidden, yeah. Try to protect the data, but not a strong protection, yeah, because if you put the mouse cursor on it, you can see the data. Yeah. Then post method, because in the body, you cannot see it, okay? So from this difference, when you need to send some sensitive data, for example, credit card, right, numbers, social security numbers, right, you know, so some sensitive information, you should use the post method. All right. When you use get method, you cannot send sensitive information. Yeah, because it's very easy. Other people can see it. All right. That's another difference. Another difference. Okay. All right. Then, yeah, so I still have a little time to talk about a few more differences. Then the third one, difference. When you visit a page, yeah, you feel that page contains useful information. You want to bookmark it, right? When you bookmark it, actually you make the web browser store the URL, right? Including the data part. Yeah. We know the data inside URL, that typically the parameter values, several parameters with their values. When you do the bookmark, yeah, bookmark the page, you should use the get method. Get method because you display parameters in the URL. So people can bookmark your page. But if you send your data through the post method, then sending the body, then it's hidden. Okay? People cannot bookmark it. That's another difference. Bookmark. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So that's, here I give you the main differences between the get method and the post method. Yeah. So when you need to use the methods in your programs, yeah, so now you have the understanding, yeah, this request object. Yeah, okay. Then response object. So some other information, but it's more important, request side structure more important for your understanding. A response, yeah, so whatever it returns, you just display. Yeah. Although it's also, it has some useful information. Yeah. Yeah. But regarding our current programming, so we understanding of the request object is more important. Okay? Yeah. All right, yeah, so let me stop right here. Yeah, so you hopefully can can help your programming a little bit. All right, so Thursday, that's our last